released. Now, you say that it is unheard of that a judge, would write this sort of thing, but it is also unprecedented that, workers will be owed salaries, that a state will go broke, and it will seem that there is no money anywhere to be able to pay people. These are not usual times, are they?
Thank you. You see, they are dwelling on the issue of competence, unnecessarily. What is factual about what he has written? You have accused the governor of spending state resources to take himself and his family abroad for medical treatment. And we discovered that it is a lie, that the man has not spent a penny of state money on himself or his family. You have accused the governor of ruling from Cuba and Saudi Arabia. We discovered that it is a lie.
How did you discover?
No, the point is this. If I have not visited Cuba since 2005 and you accuse me of ruling from there, refugees allocator, it speaks for itself. When you say I have spent, that I use state resources to take myself abroad for treatment, to take my immediate families abroad for treatment, and I have not done that, these are things that, verifiable things. And you are saying it is factual. What is factual about that?
What would you say to those who tell you? What would you say to those who
they just want us to convict the governor at all costs?
No, just a minute.
We can't do that.
What would you say to those who think, look, in the first instance, the House is not 90% APC?
Chamberlain.
No, I'm just...
We are all stakeholders in Osun.
Just a minute.
For the progress of Osun, we will be ready to impeach the governor if he is found wanting,
regardless
of party affiliation.
But they've said that first and foremost, look, if it's an APC house, how they don't see you ever impeaching the governor.
That's an unfortunate impression. But I'm saying to you that, look, we are all stakeholders in Osun State. We have our immediate families there. Whatever happens to Osun today touches on our people too. So we will do everything to safeguard the progress and the future of that state.
Why did it look as though the comments made by the minority leader were thrown out when he said you shouldn't throw out the baby and the bathwater?
Because he was not part of the committee, number one. He was not even in the House when all the issues...
hold on. He was not part of the committee.
Yes.
So there was no opposition member in the committee.
That's a fact.
So everybody is on the same page.
The 7 members all belong to APC.
Why?
Now, the speaker addressed that issue when he was inaugurating the committee. Number one, most of the issues addressed by the judge, happened during the first, our first term. That was the last dispensation, 2011 to 2015. And most of the people in the committee were, chairmen of various committees, And so we have insights.
Don't you think it would have
deeper knowledge?
It would have made more sense if you were talking about taking care of issues of perception. Don't you think it would have been a lot easier to end wrong perception if you had somebody or some people, even if it is one person, that is from the opposition in that 7-man committee?
Well, that's a perspective to it, but I'm sure you weighed it. He weighed the value the minority leader will add to that committee. He does not have deeper insight into the issues raised by the woman because he was not in the House when all these things happened.
But it turns out that there's not one dissenting voice in that committee.
Why? Because the woman abandoned the petition.
Okay.
If she had come with her evidence, we would be willing to say it as it is. Okay. If the governor is culpable and is guilty, we will say it as it is.
Let's find out from
exactly. Your client wrote a petition that a lot of people think just raised unnecessary dust in Osun State.
Yes.
Do you think is absolutely necessary, considering the fact that Osun State is not the only state that's going through this financial situation right now?
It depends on how people take situations. Some might develop thick skin and not bothered. They might have another means of income. But a judge does not have another means of income. And I also tell you,
go ahead.
She has a great support. But it is just because people are scared to come out to support her. But they support her wholeheartedly.
Okay, so the matter she raised now.
I also tell you that the honorable member with you said the governor traveled out of the country in 2005. Did the governor exhibit the passport, the photocopies of his passport to show that he travels. How did he arrive at that? If this guy is already a pre-arranged answer. And we said, let us see the answer of the governor.
All right, Mr. Ogunlefe.
Further evidence we'll give you.
Mr. Ogunlefe, the thing is, part of what he also says is that, I mean, in fact, in the first instance, why didn't the judge come forward to prove our case? Because, I mean, if you're alleged, you have to prove.
Well, no law says you should appear to prove your case in person. You can either go in person or send your solicitor. That is the way I understand the position.
Okay, so did you go to the assembly to prove the case?
Yes, if you see, ask the man with you. We were prepared to send the response of the governor to the judge. But something happened after we left because they told us they will forward it to her. They said they will not give me. They will not give me because I am not the author of the petition. And I said there is a correspondence, there is a route of correspondence. Send it to her. And I said, we are prepared to come back. Ask him. He will tell you, I will not tell a lie. He said, yes, they are glad that I'm prepared to come back. And I said, once the lady receives it, if it means providing further answer.
All right, let's find out from him then.
Suppressing the response of the governor is that they did not give the lady fair hearing at all.
Just a minute. Let's get to hear from him. Is it true that you initially agreed to send the response of the governor to the judge before the council and then later changed your mind?
Not to my knowledge. It's not true. What we said was that we will keep that window of appearance open for her till the expiration of the 2 weeks given to the committee by the House. The committee was given 2 weeks to do the assignment. And because she did not show up on that day, we said, fine, you still have another opportunity to appear. You know,
so,
a date and time of your choice. Now, he requested for the response of the governor. In fact, that was the condition upon which they said the judge will appear. And we said, no, we cannot give it to you.
Did you say you?
Yeah, we told him.
But you didn't tell him that you were going to send it to the judge.
And we said, well, she has a right to a counsel of her choice. But to my understanding, the counsel can only canvass the law. You cannot canvass the facts. The author, it is only the author that can canvass the facts.
So
if we are infringing on our rights or we are exceeding the limit of our power, the council can raise objection.
The petition did not have photocopies of receipts and all of that in it. It was just a write-up, a 39-page write-up. No photocopies in it.
Nothing attached. Nothing whatsoever.
Did you see?
I have it here.
Did you see
no single document attached?
Did you see the governor's passport, travel passport?
Some of us saw it.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
And the last stamp on that was 2005.
Cuba, yes. Cuba.
All members of that committee saw it?
Yes. Those of us present in that meeting.
So the fact that you say the governor has been traveling around the world is only Cuba he went to in 2005?
Yes.
He hasn't gone anywhere else?
And he said, Saudi Arabia, you know, the governor is a devout Muslim. And he has not spent a penny of the state money to travel to Saudi Arabia.
So it's only Saudi Arabia that the governor has gone to since he came into power?
And Cuba.
And Cuba in 2005.
He went to Cuba last in 2005.
Well, Mr. Ogunlefe, it turns out that...
and again, another proof is this. The governor did 128 state executive meetings in that 4 years under reference. That's an average of a meeting every 2 weeks. The governor attended personally, physically, 104. Out of 128 meetings in 4 years.
Okay, Mr. Ogunlefe,
that is an average of a meeting every
fortnight. What is
fortnight.
the next step for you now? Because he says that, no, they didn't say they were going to send it to the judge and no documents, nothing was attached to the petition to prove this case, and so they couldn't do anything further.
Well, I tell you one thing. The queries raised in the petition speak for themselves. They don't need any documentation. And also one thing, you see, most of these governors, they have not been able to conduct elections into local governments. They appoint caretaker committees. Things, money that accrues from FAC, they take possession of this money and give the chairman of local government, 500,000 naira. Most of them, they give them pittance as security votes. And constitutional infractions are there.
So are you speaking generally now, or are you speaking specifically about Osun State? Is that what the governor of Osun State does?
I am not saying. You see, the matter is in court, and I want to keep the matter. We are going to quash whatever the decision they have taken, because the lady was not given a fair hearing. And
so,
once the matter is in court, we will exhibit the documents we have. We are going to do that, and you see, we don't want a situation in court where you get the documents, wherever you get the documents does not matter. Whatsoever so far this is relevant.
Okay, then.
We want to be a step ahead of them.
All right. Since you said you will tender
an action to quash whatever decision they took, and you see, the man says he saw the governor's passport. It is a lie.
Oh.
It is not true. It is not true.
Why do you say so?
It is not true. It is not true.
How do you know?
The governor did. Beg your pardon?
How do you know that it's a lie?
I want to keep that to my chest. I want to keep that to my chest. The matter is in court. We are going to exhibit. I mean, once the matter gets to that stage, the Nigerians will see what is happening and would raise thumbs up for this lady judge who is courageous to take on the governor to account. And that is why I said President Obasanjo means well for this country when he said the immunity clause should be removed from governors. You yourself can see.
All right.
You just mentioned Enugu State, former Enugu State governor. The companies, his companies admitted to the charge of EFCC.
Okay,
we
hear you though.
Must be removed.
Well, since you said you'll tender the evidence in court, I guess many will wait to see when that happens. Well, we have to thank you for talking to us today, Lanre Ogunlefe, SAN, counsel to Judge Oloyede. Thank you for talking to us. But one wonders, so how are your members surviving, not having received salaries or allowances, as you say?
We understand quite all right that it's not the fault of the governor. So we've been, surviving, relying on our wife. It's not. It's not. Those of us that were part of this administration in the last 4 years knows that it's not.
87 billion in terms of loans, and still Osun State is not able to generate anything in return, and you're totally willing to absolve the governor?
My sister, when Aregbesola came in, the internal revenue was less than 400 per month.
But the governor said it at that time when he came in, that anybody waiting, I'm sure you saw that report on the papers and online, when he said, look, anybody waiting for allocation to pay salaries is not serious.
Okay.
And he said that he had paid salaries without waiting for allocation. He said that in the first few years of his administration when he first came in. Now you say it's not his fault. How?
The reality, look, I'll give you an example. We even, to protect their own interest, we told motorcycle riders, popularly known as Okadas, to take plate numbers, registration numbers, so that at least the Okada will be protected. At least, kidnappers will not make use of Okada again and just, tar them with the same brush. They resisted us. They said, this government is making life difficult for them. This government is this. If you are not careful in a state like Osun, if you try to impose tax, you will find yourself out of government quickly, fast. Because they won't know you're doing it in the interest of the state. It has to be gradual. If you are too, dramatic about it, if you do it within a short space of time, you will end up outside the government.
How many months
we have to do it gradually. We're going to, look, we've plugged all the holes. And as a result of plugging all the, the leakages, we now have appreciable increase in the internal revenue.
How many months of allocation is the federal government owing Osun State?
They are not owing allocation. What is happening is that the allocation is dwindling. It's going down to a level that the state cannot, sustain.
So he's getting all his allocation?
As it is, as of today, I think so.
So what's the way out? I mean, is there any light at the end of this?
The way out, we are hoping that, Abuja will be able to put their house in order, block all the leakages, and ensure that there's money in the federation account for states to at least share. 1. 2, we will also, like yesterday, we called this, a stakeholders meeting in the state of Osun. It was organized by the Osun legislators. And it was designed to fashion out a way out of this mess, face the reality of the situation and tell the people that we have to raise taxes.
Did the governor appear?
It may not be pleasant, not we have to.
I know we need to go. Did the governor appear before the committee? Or you say he sent his written response.
He sent a written response, yes.
So if he didn't appear, is it then justified you ask the petitioner to also appear? Well, I mean, to appear?
No, because we were going to invite the governor, but the woman abandoned the petition. And once you abandon your case, there's no point going further. She abandoned the petition by refusing to appear. And she was not on trial. We only asked her to bring additional evidence.
Well, now that the matter, they say now that the matter is in court, they will bring all the evidence to the court, and who knows how that will go on. Honorable Oladoyin Bamishaimi is the Chief Whip, Osun State House of Assembly, also a member of that 7-man committee that looked into that petition. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure.
We'll be back after the break. Join us again.